lovelies. Thank you for clicking on this video. Please like and subscribe. Today we are doing Paradise Season 1, Episode 5. And this episode is entitled In the Palaces of the Crown Kings. Okay. So this episode, not much happened, but also a lot happened at the same time. Definitely a heavy flashback episode. Y'all know this show loves a flashback. And if you are liking this show, I already reviewed episodes 1 through 4, all separate videos. So yeah, just like the videos, comment, subscribe. I'm just beginning this YouTube journey, so just walk with me. And y'all, I'm at my apartment clubhouse. It is cold as hell in here. And for like the past 3 hours I've been in here, I've been working on getting TikTok back on my phone. I have both my phones. This is my old phone and my new my phone I use. So I've been working on that and doing homework. And I just watched this episode. So let's get to it, y'all, so I can go to sleep. Okay? Because I'm tired. But y'all, I really got TikTok back. I don't know if I can say that, but I got TikTok back on my phone. And it was all by using like a VPN or something. But I feel so techie. Like, oh my God. Well, let me oh, I didn't even add this PowerPoint yet. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to it. But this episode was good. I'm gonna rate it a the last episode was a 10 out of 10. This one is like a more of like an 8, but it was good. So this episode starts off a little differently. Like we hear a narrated voice and we don't know who it is, but you kind of hear like a voice in the background, and then it starts off in 1997. And y'all, I've been working off of one PowerPoint, so we're gonna have to go through last episode stuff. Okay, so let's see. So this episode starts off in 1997. So Kyle pulls up. You can tell he's rich. He has a driver child. Like I was like, okay, Kyle. But he is talking to an older man. We figure out that's his dad because we saw his dad in like a couple episodes before this. So I had to figure out. But he's pretty much how he wants to leave the business, and apparently they're into like a oil business. But he's saying he wants to leave the business and he wants to start teaching high school. And his father like laughs at him and is like, no, you're going to start your political journey. I want you to be like a governor. um, and he's pretty much saying you're gonna do what I tell you to do, okay? And I'm just like, this. I don't know how old Cal was here, but I'm like, poor thing. And what I noticed is that his dad is a heavy drinker, and if you've been watching my reviews, Cal is a heavy drinker, which is so awkward for me to say that name. I wish they just named him Kyle. Cal is so, and then I do like recorded notes by like just my voice. So when I say Cal, my Siri always says Cal. Like literally all through my notes it says Cal, 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 Cal. But so he's a heavy drinker, and I noticed he was like Cal was like, you drinking kind of early, ain't you? And he was like, it's happy hour somewhere. And I remember Cal saying that like later in like an episode before this. So which was interesting. I was like, okay, I'm seeing the dots connect, right? But and he says one day your child will thank you for this Bradford name, right? So present day, we go to a scene with Kyle's son. And y'all, I got his name. It is Jeremy. Okay. I feel like for the past reviews, I didn't know what this little boy name was. But he kind of looks like a singer. I don't know what the name is. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think of it. But we go to Kyle's son, and he gets a notification on his watch, right? So he's just like, "Oh, the funeral's an hour," and he's drinking too. I'm like, the drinking is hereditary, okay? So then we see Xavier texting Billy. Billy's not texting back, and if you watched last week's episode, you know why. But Billy is out of here. So Xavier starts talking to a neighbor, right? And his neighbor had a dog. And I'm like, how in the hell did they get a dog down here? Like through all that chaos. But apparently there is a no dog rule. So he's just like, you owe me a favor. for hiding his secret, which is important for later in this episode. So we cut to a scene. Jeremy is giving a eulogy at the funeral. He talks about how Cal was unraveling his last couple of weeks, right? Um, and was always in like a bathrobe. And that's what Gabriella said too. Remember, she said at the last therapy session, she was wearing a bathrobe. So I was like, oh, Lord. But we cut to a flashback, and this is when Cal was asking Jeremy to watch like an old movie with him, and Jeremy was just upset. Like Jeremy was reading the hell out of him, and he was just like, "You woke up. It's funny how you woke up at 42 wanting to be president, and you let all these billionaires like stick their hand up your ass." And just control you following like the collapse of human civilization. And I'm just like, oh my God, like respect your dad. But and then it, in the same scene, Cal's dad comes in. So I guess Senior Bradford, I don't know what his name is, but comes in with Billy. And so I guess this was like at the beginning when they I don't know what. I guess this was probably like maybe like a month or so ago. But or no, probably a couple days before his death, honestly. But Billy comes in with Kyle's dad, and it's like and I was like, I noticed he must have dementia at this time because he keeps calling like Kyle Jeremy and like keeps getting them confused. But they're telling him like you cannot leave this house, it's not safe for you. And his dad goes in and says they're all lost at sea. And I'm guessing he means the scientists. I don't know what he was talking about. But then Cal, when he gets stressed, he starts drinking. So as soon as he like started going to like the bourbon, like the big glass containers, Jeremy was just like, I wonder how you're gonna hide from yourself when the liquor finally runs out. And he says, I wish you died with the rest of the world. I'm like, this little boy does not respect his dad. Like at all. This was the scene right here. My bad. I should have went to that. But present day, okay. Xavier asks Jane to help him find Billy, and this is after the funeral. But Agent Robinson interrupts, and she was just like, the DNA samples that they collected from the recent autopsy of Kyle did never made it from the crime scene to the lab, and she thinks Sinatra interfered with that. And she was pretty much like, I only trust you, Xavier. I don't trust anybody else, which is crazy because they do not like each other. So, yeah. So we cut to a flashback, y'all. This show with these damn flashbacks. Like now that I've been watching, I get it. But if you don't know, it's very confusing. But flashback, it cuts to Robinson laying on her bed, and her and Kyle obviously just knock some boots. And Kyle was just like, did you vote for me? And she was like, no. And she calls him like a spoiled billionaire son. But she said that he has dealt with a huge burden. And I'm like, yeah, losing all the population during your presidency is definitely not easy. Having to go to an underground mountain town. I'm like, what the hell? But and I was like, this scene is very Fitz and Olivia from Scandal. Like I started rewatching Scandal a month ago, and I'm like, did Sandra Rhimes or something write this? Like they're like throughout these notes, I wanted to call them Fitz and Olivia. Like, but he begins to say that he was like, can I tell you something? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, my dad always called Billy Pace Sniper, which makes sense because we know Billy's history of being like a mercenary or whatever it's called. So, and he doesn't understand why. But she was like, how would anybody be called Sniper in this new world? Because they don't have pow pows there. So she was just like, you really think people in these billionaires this powerful would be defenseless? So obviously he knows something that he doesn't want to say. So present day, Xavier and Jane, they go knocking on Billy's door and they don't get an answer. So Xavier kicks in the door and they find Billy, right? And Jane, this would piss me off. I've been real demure on these reviews, but F Jane, okay? Her fake ass. I was like, girl, she talking about, oh, Billy, oh my God. I'm like, bitch, you know what happened to Billy. Oh my God. Like, y'all, Jane is on my list. I do not like Jane, okay? Her fake ass. But I mean, she didn't have a choice. I would she, but still, I can't wait until her like themed episode. I want to know her history because if Billy life was just jacked up and they're all like secret agents, I know her life is hella jacked up. But she just fake. Oh, Billy. Oh my God. Oh, Billy. And I'm just like, girl, you literally did this. Like, so Xavier has to call it in, and it's like agent down. So we get to another flashback. Cal is like in his bathrobe chilling, right? And he's just like, he's wondering what sniper means. So and he's just like, what does lost at sea mean? So before his, so I'm assuming this was like the day before his, death or whatever. So he gets the tablet. Remember I told you like episode 1, the tablet holds all the information of like everything that's happened. That's what was in that safe that they broke and stole when he was found dead, right? So the tablet, he gets the tablet and he clicks on a file, and it's called the classified. You kind of see it. It's like first transmission. And this is all having to do with the scientists that went out into the world, right? So he clicks on it, but he is denied. So he's just like, how am I denied? And I'm the freaking president. But he realized he's being cut off from the billionaires, right? So he goes to his dad, who was like older and like knocked out, and he uses his dad's hand to use it. And his dad gets in, and I'm like, that's messed up. That really is. Like, you letting a man like with dementia have access, but you're not letting him have access. I'm like, y'all are grimy. But he opens it, and y'all, he continues to drink, and oof, like he opens the first one, right? And he hears one scientist talking about there's still high radiation out there and that they found a woman. And then he clicks on one of them, and I think it was Sinatra's voice, but Sinatra was like, take out the scientist pretty much. And I'm like, ooh, Lord. But present day, actually, no, this is at still in the flashback, but still like the day of or like the day before Kyle's death. He goes to like the library and he is like researching in his bathrobe. So he's like losing it, right? He goes to therapy with Gabriella, which he confirmed episodes before, and asks if anything happens to him to go to Xavier, which he did. And then during his last day, remember so his son didn't show up to dinner with him, and he was making like homemade pasta, which looked good. I was like, I want to do that. I want to take like a homemade pasta class. But he was working out, so he stopped wearing his bathrobe. So you could tell he was kind of getting his life together. But he invited oops, y'all, my bad. I wrote these notes. Oh, so when he was kind of getting his life together, he met up with Samantha, and which Samantha is Sinatra. They were on like the balcony, and he was just like, he knows what she did, and she was like, I had to make a decision. What were even she was like, even if people knew that there's still air out there, what are people gonna do? Go out there? There's still no life. And I'm just like, girl, you still gotta tell people. Like Sinatra is evil, y'all. Like she kind of reminds me of like the Truman Show, kind of like she just wants to trap people in her own reality and just keep them there. Like all her own, I think she just wants to stay in this world, and it was the perfect opportunity so she could live her son's dream in a way. But she said a decision had to be made and the scientists need to be taken out because it wasn't safe. And she said people searching is like a death sentence. Like if they go out there, like there's no life out there. But Xavier witnesses the end of this because Cal starts like yelling at her, and he's like, "I want to tell the people." But it kind of the conversation gets interrupted then, right? So present day, Xavier's at the bar. Robinson comes up to him and tells him, And Xavier was drinking. I'm like, y'all, like, if Billy or somebody was drinking, whatever, but if Xavier is drinking, that's how you know it's bad. But Robinson tells him that it was a fentanyl dose, which is not true. But he says that Billy was like a little brother to him. And Robinson says that she was in love with Cal. And I'm like, girl, this fits in Olivia storyline. I can't. But Robinson says they need to take down Sinatra and she knows where weapons are. So we cut to Presley. She catches Jeremy drinking after the funeral. He says he wishes he spent time with his dad when his dad wanted to spend time with him. He has like this like virtual golf thing so he can like change the scenes. So he changes to like this Hawaii scene. And Presley's like very impressed by this, right? Because she hasn't been able to see it. Like it's like super virtual. So she can like feel like the essence of what Hawaii is. And they're trapped down there, so she doesn't have any other like experience with that. But ooh, my notes got all kind of messed up. My bad. I scrolled all over the place. Okay, here it is. So I guess Senior Bradford or Cal's dad comes in and he's just like, I know her. What are you doing here? So he like grabs Presley's arm. And I'm like, does he think that Presley is Robinson? Because that would make sense. Because he has dementia, so he doesn't know her like somebody from his past. But Presley leaves. And we get to another flashback, child. Another flashback of Jeremy. And this is the night of Cal's death officially. So Jeremy didn't show up for dinner. So Cal invited Robinson over, and she says that she can't keep doing this, like being like a mistress. Very Olivia. But when she tries to leave, he's just like, wait, I know where I can find Pow Pows. I'm like, what? What kind of, is that supposed to be like sexy? No. But he says that he only has a few months left on the job and that he can get a divorce soon. I'm like, God. But like we've all heard that, right? I mean, not me, no, not me, not that. But I'm talking about like with the storyline of Olivia Fitz and Melly. But she leaves, and then after this, Kyle goes downstairs and talks with his dad, which is the one with dementia. And Kyle's dad talks about his mom. And he was just like, he built his whole life for Jeremy, him, and his wife. And Kyle was like, have I ever made you proud? And his dad says, oh my God. He was like, you've never done anything that I didn't do for you. So pretty much saying everything that you've done in your life was because of me. I'm just like, this man is horrible. But Cal goes back to his room. He gets the cigarettes that Xavier ends up having and writes down the code 1812. So I'm like, is that the code to the tablet? I missed that completely. I don't know. But present day, Xavier tells he tells Presley that Billy is dead. And he's like, go to your room, pack a bag for James, and just do that for me. And then he tells his neighbor, with the one with the illegal dog, he's like, I need a favor. So I think his neighbor works for like maybe security or something. But Jeremy, it cuts to a scene with Jeremy. Jeremy asks his grandpa why he attacked Presley. And he doesn't remember, or probably doesn't associate it with that. But he thinks that Jeremy is Cal. Okay. So he's just like, you were right about everything. And he starts telling a story about like how your mom wanted to name you Arthur, but I thought Cal was a very like a stronger name. And oh, he says that I lied before. I am proud of you and that he's sorry. And I'm like, dang, I wish Kyle could have heard that, but he is gone now. But and then now we realize that that narrating voice at the beginning of the episode was Kyle's dad. So he's like reading a book. And Xavier's So we see Xavier's neighbor like sneak into an office and he's like doing something, but we don't know what. We see Presley go under a bed. I don't know whose bed this was, but she sees the tablet, which was stolen from the crime site. So I'm like, whose bed is this? Who was this planted there? Like, I don't know. But and she like tries to log into it. Um, And then as Kyle's dad is reading at the end, he's just like, I saw her that night. And I don't know who her is. Maybe Sinatra? I don't know. Or Robinson? I have no idea. Um, yeah, and I even wrote in my notes whose bed was she grabbing the tablet under? I don't know. But so at the beginning of the episode, there was a telephone pole being fixed because X even said to his neighbor, you need to be careful with your dog because that telephone pole light wasn't out. So what if they put a camera there? So he realizes that they did put a camera there. So um, I realize I have not been showing all these pictures, y'all. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. So, okay. So, we realized that there is a camera there. So X just stands in front of it, and Sinatra can see from her laptop, like, oh shit, like what's going on? So it's just, somehow we all see a red light appear outside. So she goes to her window, and we see an orange light on the sky because the sky is fake. So they're lying to you. And I'm like, oh snap. Oh my God. And I looked on the preview for next episode. It's like a full out war because I'm sure this is going to raise some commotion. But yeah, this episode was pretty good. A lot of background information, but not a lot of action. So hopefully next episode is definitely a lot more action. But yeah, please like and subscribe. I really love doing this reviews. I'm definitely doing it for enjoyment. So yes, but like and subscribe, comment, give me feedback, anything. And have a good night. Cause it is late. It is 1:30. Jesus Christ. Goodbye.